Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is Sunita Gladys Kanaka from Punvidyashram. Good morning, students. Welcome back to the English class. Today, we are going back to the new GEMS English Reader. Lesson 3, Making Friends. Part 1. It is a dramatized version of an extract from Little Women written by Louisa May Alcott, an American writer. The novel Little Women was originally published in 2 volumes in 1868 and 1869. So that means nearly 150 years back. And our lesson, Making Friends, is a small part of that big novel. Now, a quick short introduction about the author. Louisa May Alcott was an American novelist, short story writer, and a poet. She was best known as the author of Little Women and its sequels, Little Men and Jo's Boys. She was born on 29th November 1832 in the United States and died on 6th March 1888. The Little Women is a 19th century story set up in New England. It is the story of an English lady and her 4 daughters during the Civil War. Mrs. March and her 4 daughters, Jo, Meg, Beth, and Amy, were leading a contented life even though they were very poor. The March sisters faced the hardship and constraints of poverty and social expectations while their father, Mr. March, off fighting the war. Have you ever watched a drama, children? It will be a live performance by the actors on a stage. Before the drama could start, an introduction is given. I have told you that this lesson is a dramatized version, so that's why we have scenes and dialogues. Moreover, drama helps to develop the language and communication skills. It also develops the emotions and intelligence of a person. The characters in this play are Jo March, Meg, Margaret March, Laurie, Theodore Lawrence, the boy in the neighborhood, grandfather, old Mr. Lawrence, and the maid, the helper in the Lawrences' household. Before going into the video, let me give you a brief summary of Making Friends by Louisa May Alcott. In 19th century New England, 4 sisters, the tomboyish Jo, the beautiful Meg, the frail Beth, and the curly-haired Amy, grew up from girls to young women while their father was away at war. Their family was poor, but they were contented and happy. They were always willing to help others. Jo, Meg, Beth, and Amy March were 4 sisters living with their mother in New England. Their father was away serving as a captain in the Civil War, and the sisters struggled to support themselves and keep their household running despite the fact that the family recently lost its fortune. In the process, they became close friends with their wealthy neighbor Theodore Lawrence, known as Laurie. The story took place at the time of American Civil War. The central point of the story was the March family, and specifically the 4 March sisters, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy. Meg was the eldest sister. She was somebody who was beautiful and she was very fond of luxuries. Jo was the second sister, and she was tomboyish and extremely fond of reading books. Third was Beth, who was extremely gentle, shy, and was ready to help everybody and willing to take care of other people. And finally, the last one was Amy, the younger sister, who was really pampered and spoiled. She loved to draw. So, Making Friends is the story about how Marge's sisters had fallen on hard times and how the four sisters often wish for a better life. Their mother keeps them grounded and teaches them to be happy with what they have. The sisters held their mother with high regard and esteem and listened to her. The story teaches us lots of valuable lessons related to life. It is the story of a family who were always together through their ups and downs. The March family lived in a small house next door to the Lawrence mansion, where young Theodore Lawrence, known as Laurie, and his aged grandfather had only each other for company. Old Mr. Lawrence was wealthy and he indulged every wish of his grandson, but often Laurie was lonely. When the lamps were lit and the shades were up in the March house, he could see the four March sisters with their mother in the center, seated around a cheerful fire. He learned to know them by name before he met them by listening to them call out to each other, and in his imagination, he almost felt himself as a member of the family. Now watch the video to get the gist of the story, Making Friends by Louisa May Alcott.
Making Friends. Scene 1. What in the world are you going to do now, Joe? Going out for some exercise. Exercise? On a cold day like this? You can sit here and read Ivano and toast your feet. I'm going out. Oh, it's you, Joe. You startled me. What's the matter? Is it too cold for you? Do you know where I'm going now? Have you seen the Lawrence boy who lives in the stately mansion on the other side of the hedge? His grandpa does not know what's good for him and keeps him shut all alone. He needs somebody young and lively. I have a good mind to go over and tell the old gentleman so. Scene 2. How do you do? Are you sick?
I've had a bad cold and have been shut up for a week.
Have someone come and see you then?
There isn't anyone I'd like to see. Boys make such a row.
Isn't there some nice girl who'd read and amuse you?
Don't know any.
You know us.
So I do. Will you come, please?
I'm not quiet and nice, but I'll come. If mother will let me, I'll go and ask her. Scene 3. Here I am, bag and baggage. Mother sent her love and would be glad if I could do anything for you. Meg wanted me to bring some of her blancmange, and Beth thought her cats would be comforting.
That looks too pretty to eat.
It's so smooth it will slip down without hurting your sore throat. I came to amuse you. Shall I read aloud?
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'd rather talk.
I can talk all day. Beth says I never know when to stop.
Is Beth the rosy one who stays at home a good deal and sometimes goes out with a little basket?
Yes, she's my girl. And a regular good one she is too.
The pretty one is Meg and the curly-haired one is Amy.
How did you find that out?
Why, you see, I often hear you calling to one another, and I can't help looking over at your house.
I give you leave to look as much as you like. I just wish Though instead of peeping, you'd come over and see us. Wouldn't your grandpa let you?
I think he would, if your mother asked him.
We're neighbors and want to know you.
Come down and see our library.
Scene 4. He's got kind eyes, though his mouth is grim, and he looks as if he had a tremendous will. He isn't as handsome as my grandfather, but I like him.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here ends part 1 of the third lesson, Making Friends, written by Louisa May Alcott, an American author. Making Friends is an extract from one of her famous novels, Little Women. I request you to go through this session with a rapt attention. This lesson will continue in part 2. Till then, bye from Sunita Gladys Kanaka. Thank you.